This time, we dive into the fascinating world of Neuro-Linguistic Programming. NLP is the programming of mind and the subconscious mind. If you want to unlock your mind's full potential, boost your communication skills, and break free from limiting patterns, you are in the right place. NLP isn't just another buzzword, it's a powerful toolkit that empowers you to become the creator of your life. Imagine being able to reprogram your mind like updating the software of a computer to achieve your personal and professional goals with ease. That's the magic of NLP, and we are here to explore it together. Today, we have a special guest, Ravi Bodani, who has been dedicated to researching NLP spaces for over a decade. Through his training and coaching practices, he's carrying a mission of shaping young Indian minds. Here it's Ravi. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me here. Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Very warm welcome to you. So how can someone have abundance mindset? How to move from scarcity mindset to abundance mindset?
From my viewpoint, I see that abundance mindset must start with a feeling of abundance. I want to share this one of the wonderful another principle of NLP beyond cause and effect. It's called perception is projection. In simple word, it means that what you perceive on the outside is your own projection. What you perceive on the outside is your own projection. Connecting this with abundance and scarcity, the abundance has to initiate from within.
How to do that?
So now scarcity also from the token of the principle that our perceptions are our own projections, which means that if from within I'm having the viewpoint of scarcity, I'll project scarcity all across where I go. So it starts, therefore, what makes NLP so beautiful, it's such enlightening journey, is that it starts from the inside. It's like what world are you wanting to create for yourself on the outside must initiate from the inside. So therefore, abundance must start from addressing and changing your limiting beliefs from the past and creating a renewed, updated self where you are able to find abundance on the outside. So one has to feel abundance. Now, what does NLP say? It's what you see in your life, what you'll create in your life is what you're feeding in your mind. So if I see the world abundance, if I watch, if I read books, if I meet with people who are talking abundance, that's the first beginning. That I have to make myself surrounded by abundance in order for me to look at abundance on the outside. So again, the inside out approach is, if I want to see abundance, I need to first start believing within myself.
That means go back to your limiting beliefs.
That's right.
Which you really have to then start looking at it differently,
right.
Asking the right questions and knowing that this is my limiting belief. And that is also the scarcity mindset.
That's right.
What do you mean by not enough?
It's also another belief that I'm not enough. So many people believe that I'm not enough. So if I want to buy, let's say, a big car or a luxury car, so I say I can't earn enough money, I'm not good enough, or I'm not equipped enough, I'm not rich enough to buy that or afford that. So here the belief says that be mindful of what you are saying and then start to prepare yourself, start to develop yourself. So NLP approach says that you want something, you got to be something. Question is, how should you be something? And the answer is all about NLP. Because if you're able to operate yourself with the right mindset, you're able to do the behaviors from a resourceful state, you can get what you want.
Ravi, would you like to tell one or two technique? One is this, the thinking that you ask relevant questions.
There are many techniques. Like starting from one is that we call it as if frame. There are frames in NLP. There's a technique called framing. So people who are attracting more problems in their life, NLP says they're not attracting, they're creating.
Oh, this is That's interesting.
Yeah.
How do they create?
Yeah, because every result in our life is produced by our thinking and our behaviors. So we are creating problems. So how does a problem get created is by operating from a problem frame. So by looking at the world where you're finding problems of why you can't grow. Success mindset, on the other hand, it's called the outcome frame. Outcome frame is that I want something. Now I am looking at situations as an opportunity for myself to grow. And I develop myself. So NLP will teach you how to think better.
That means then that when there is a challenge, the person thinks that there is an opportunity for me to grow and bring something more creative on the table. Then limiting yourself to sit back and say, oh my God, this is not going to happen. Something like this is
Something
what you
like
said.
that. And this is my assertion is things are created. Problems are created. Therefore, success is also a creation. It's a creation of what we are doing.
That means if somebody first start thinking and feel that within, so is that visualization also that you use?
It is visualization, of course. And now it is visualization plus now making yourself more resourceful. So
How to make yourself more resourceful?
Yes, it's by thinking in clear outcomes. It's by focusing on the things that are to be done and by creating your habits which will take you towards that success. Habits.
So that means you have to really go back and look at what are your habits.
Yes.
And then, so this would really help somebody who is a smoker.
Yeah.
And how does the person really stop smoking? Anything that you would like to tell?
I think, yeah, sure. So let's say that, the person who is smoking, so I'm just sharing the NLP approach.
Yeah.
The person is smoking because they are getting something from it. So for example, let's say if we inquire any smoker, why do you smoke? And the answer would be, I find peace.
And he relax and
I feel relaxed. I find satisfaction, etc.,
Yes.
etc. Everybody might have got different reasons. Somebody smoking just for fun.
Yeah.
And our point is, interestingly, that what they're doing, if we park that aside, why are they doing is more important question. Now, for the person who is finding peace, for the person who's finding fun, they do not have a better way to find peace. Therefore, they are smoking.
Oh my God.
So if the person is finding a better way for finding peace, they'll stop smoking.
Okay.
So NLP doesn't work particularly on the behavior. It works on what is causing that behavior.
The person has to fill up that moment into doing something that will relax the person.
That's right. By
and
doing
gives
something
him peace.
Right.
So that the person comes out from smoking.
That's right. From smoking habit. That's right. So why they're doing what they're doing? Because you're getting something. So if you tackle that, this will stop.
I remember somebody mentioning that one of the girl, she said, you know what, my mother did this with me when I was a child, and she's still holding on to that, and she's suffering. Right. Because the mother might have done it in ignorance or probably whatever the reasons were. I don't know the circumstances, but it is about also letting go.
Yeah, and it's not that easy. It is about letting go from the fact of the principle of NLP that says perception is projection. So what you are perceiving on the outside is your memory of the past. So this girl that you are talking about, she will continue to look at the world through her color of the lens, which is not the true picture outside.
Yeah, because it has changed.
That's right.
Yeah.
So now,
Sorry.
yeah. So now her memory has to be addressed.
And how can that be done?
And there's a fantastic technique in NLP. We call it the timeline therapy technique. Okay. It's a therapeutic process where you take the person back in the childhood and reframe and learn from the memory. And you learn from the memory so that your memory is no longer an emotional barrier to your perception.
Oh my God.
So that memory remains only a fragment of a memory without any emotion particularly.
Which is attached to the memory.
Right.
So usually the feeling is always attached to the memory. What really gives you sadness or grief or anger comes from that emotion and not from the memory?
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Ah, okay. And in this timeline process that is done, so you remove the emotion and the memory remains like...
Right, that's right. It's like, I watched a movie when I was small, I remember it, but I don't need to carry an emotion with it. If I'm carrying an emotion, it's also called as, in NLP terms, a baggage. So you are carrying a baggage inside of you. And that baggage will create your perception, which is not true.
I heard somebody say, so जैसे आपकी दृष्टि है वैसे आपकी सृष्टि है. So that's why each one of us have a different world. Huh?
Absolutely.
Everyone has a different world, and we operate from that world map that we are having our perceptions and the colored glasses.
Perfect. I love the way you said that.
Ah, okay.
So in other words, NLP is the process of enriching your map. So that you see the world the way it is, and you see the world the way you want to see.
And to see the world way it is means what?
Means that you are not having your own filter of the past. So if I wear, a glass or a spectacle which has blue shade, the world is blue for me. But the world is actually not blue. For me, it is blue.
Is that what is called perceptual positioning?
A perceptual positioning is another wonderful technique which talks about how can you enhance relationships in your life. Perceptual positioning is about how can you gain more empathy, how can you gain more emotional intelligence. So let's say, if someone has a partner in a relationship, how is it to be in someone else's shoes? So that's perceptual position, which means you become that person for a while in your imagination, and you see the world from their eyes. You feel the world through their emotions, so that now you understand their viewpoint and deal with those people accordingly. So if a leader in organizations, if they have empathy, the way they will deal with people is completely different. They'll deal with people with a very high emotional maturity.
And not reprimand them.
And absolutely, because you can feel what the other person is feeling.
Or not punish them.
That's right. So empathy is not a concept, it's an experience, which is experienced in the perceptual position technique.
Ravi, there have been times where quite a few people are in dilemma. What to do in certain situations? Are they taking the appropriate decisions? Or sometimes they don't know what decision to take. Yeah. In such situation, what does NLP say? What recommendation does NLP give?
There's a technique called as if technique, as if frame it's called. So how it works, and particularly for this situations like these, is that if I come across a situation in my life where I don't have any answer to or a solution to, so the technique says, imagine what would your mentor, if at all you do have, or an idol, it could be an idol god also, by the way, or it could be your parents, or it could be someone who you trust, someone whose guidance you can trust. So imagine what would that person do in your place.
If my mentor was in my place,
what would he or she do?
okay.
And now this is pretty astonishing, as I'm saying, that otherwise you would not know what to do. But if you try it this way, I can bet you will get some solution.
So
it's coming from your same mind, by the way. Drawing some science here, that our brains are quantum brains, which means that I have my brain here locked inside my head, but it doesn't really work like that. We have a collective mind. That's called collective consciousness. In other words, quantum brain, which means that, let's say that Albert Einstein, for example, I've only read about him, and now it's more than 100 years. So now I can also tap onto his intelligence a little bit if I can.
How?
So it's just an imagination. In fact, as a coincidence, it's Albert Einstein's quotation. He said that the greatest gift to mankind is the power to imagine. It is through imagination you can create a world. You can invent things. In fact, all the inventions in the world people have brought, it is through imagination. So this technique, as if it also draws on the power of our imagination. Imagine that what would Albert Einstein do in this place if he were to be in your place? And you get the answer. Pretty strange.
Really?
Strange as it sounds, but yes, that's reality.
And if I take the collective consciousness,
Yes.
which also means that we can create a beautiful and a peaceful planet.
Beautiful, I love that. So the Wi-Fi is like, internet. What is internet? It's collective consciousness. If metaphorically drawn a parallel.
It's very interesting.
Any computer system can connect with any computer system. You just need to have the Wi-Fi. So with these kind of techniques, like as if you are connecting with the universal consciousness, and that's a pretty powerful thing to do.
So it is possible to create a world, a planet of peace and harmony.
Indeed.
I heard somebody say in one of the quotes that if you have violence inside of you, you're creating violence outside. So that's how we are creating violence whatever violence that we see around us. So the violence is not really outside, it's what you have created.
Absolutely perfect. Perception is projection.
Now, the decisions that we take, and if we do not really know the impact of these decisions which are outside, because we just do it for ourselves, do NLP has something on that to say?
If not directly, but then there's a very important word that works as an attitude in the whole NLP discipline. It's called ecological mindset. Ecological, which means you focus on ecology. In other words, any decision that you are taking about your life, about anything you choose to do or not do, you must consider that you are not living alone in life. You are a part of a network, a part of a system.
Like of that collective consciousness?
Yeah, you are part of the system. But here, let's say, let's chunk it down, like giving a simple example at home. Let's say I am a very courageous person. I want to become courageous. Now that doesn't mean that I tame a snake, a cobra in my home, and I tame it at home, because others will get wrongly affected by that. What is ecology now is that when you are taking a decision, are you considering that is anyone in the pursuit of this decision getting negatively affected by that? If it is, then you don't take the decision, because there are better ecological ways to take a decision. Yeah.
But this is quite difficult.
This is indeed quite difficult, and we need intelligence there, by the way. We need intelligence.
Definitely we need intelligence, and we also need to be selfless, because then you don't only think about yourself, but you also think about your family. You also go, you make your circle a little bigger, about the society, about your neighborhood, and what is that impacting to your team, to your organizations, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So those decisions then to some extent also become selfless. Is that true?
Yes, of course, because to create an ecological world, one has to operate from that ecology from within, And then, well, tracing back into the NLP terminology, here the ecology also is inside of you. So when you earlier gave an example of a person smoking, so what the person is smoking is disturbing the ecology inside of his psychological system, which means that, and the physical system. In other words, what it means is that decision of smoking is good in one way, but the person will find the negativity coming sooner in the body faster.
And also in the surroundings.
In the surroundings. So one is your own ecological system. One is your external ecological system. Intelligence comes when what you do is you are supporting ecology. That's a pretty fundamental and a pretty intricate topic which NLP addresses. Yes.
We have been observing that many people are going through mental and emotional stress. Does NLP have any recommendation techniques for people to reduce the stress?
I think, if not the technique right now particularly, I want to talk about how NLP can come handy when it comes to stress. Any form of stress, it is violation of your rules or your values.
What do you mean by values?
So I'll start with, values, okay. So values is much deeper causes of stress. Every human being has different sets of values. They have a different set of values. For example, if I take a basic relationship example, let's say the partner, the wife, for example, is having a value for freedom in relationship, and she is living in the environment where there is more control, So this person's values are not met, it's violated. That's the major source of stress. Yeah, because that's the deeper cause of stress. Because any value needs an environment that's supporting. If you see that, if we talk about organizations, who are those people will be more engaged in their work, who will be sustained in that organization, is people who are finding their values being respected or fulfilled. Yes. The word value is like what we find important in life. And this is where NLP talks about, in fact, if not a technique for now, right now, because it's a complete process I do, it's called hierarchy of values, which means it's a coaching process where a person's complete values, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down to 10 values are elicited in a coaching conversation where we are aware of the person's values. And now once if you are aware of your values, you are able to identify and rather choose the environment which can fulfill your values. And if your values are not fulfilled, it's a major source of stress. Respect is a value, significance is a value. There are some people in organizations, and when I coach so many leaders in organizations, and I see that it is not the salary or the paycheck they are there for. They are wanting significance. They want recognition. They want to get awarded, respected. So these are values, and every person has different sets of values. Two people, if they can live together in harmony, is their values are being fulfilled.
Like an example, if one of the partner has a value of friendship and other does not have that value, then that relationship is not really thriving.
It's not thriving naturally. So you have to put efforts, external effort to make it work.
Yes. When this stress is happening, and because NLP is all about mind and body, then what happens to the body? The cells of the body starts, because everything is changing. What happens? Just curious out of...
During stress?
Yes.
I think, of course, the body is absolutely, it's like the orange will rot faster. And same with the bodies. So there's a whole neuroscience, laid down for us for all these years of research that, in fact, on the stress, if I must take just an example for anger, it says if a person is angry for 1 minute, to bring back the same homeostasis in their nervous system, it takes about 6 hours to the body to come back and recover that damage which was done in 1 minute. So that's a very unfair, I think, ratio. One of the things surely it could be, and I think fundamentally, or rather conceptually, what NLP would say is that if you want to de-stress yourself, feed different images in your mind. Start to operate your body in a different way, which simple means, like for example, we have simple, it's like, can you change your breathing if you want to de-stress yourself? And it's powerful.
It is.
But conceptually, what NLP is saying, that you take control of your body and mind because it's yours.
I really enjoyed our conversations, Ravi. I'm sure that you have also enjoyed it. There were many techniques that we spoke about. Please use them. Please write to us and let us know what support and help that you need. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Really,
it was great to be here.